Good morning, Tehmeena Khan is here with video number 3 on O-Level Mathematics Paper 1 Tricky Questions. In my first video I cover question 1 to 10, then in my second video I cover question 11 to 15, and now I will start from question number 16. Before I begin, you can see my blog address here, TKMaths.blogspot.com. And all the links, the link of all my videos is up here. So whoever you want to share it with or you want to see yourself, you can go here. It will be easy to find out the videos. So let's begin with question number 16. So this question seems very easy to students at a glance, and at times they do not get the trick in it. So let's see what is the trick in it and how you have to handle it. So question is saying a rectangular block of wood has dimension 20 centimeter by 13 by 8. I have shown this in the diagram also. And it is cut up into children's bricks, right? Each brick is a cube of side 4 centimeter, which I have also drawn here for you. So from this big rectangular block, you are cutting bricks, okay? So first part of the question is saying, find out the largest number of bricks you can cut from the block. So you tell me what comes in your mind, what you will do immediately. Okay, so I think some of you, or maybe, I don't know, a few of you may be thinking that you will find out the volume of this block and you will find out the volume of the brick and then divide it. And it will give you number of the blocks. Now this is right, and the way it is asked in junior classes, it's fine. But here it is not fine. Do you know why it is not fine here? So before I show you the solution, let's see here. Imagine, okay? Because maths is very beautiful. You need to imagine good patterns, good understanding, and you will actually enjoy it. Okay, now let's see. If you see lengthwise, it is 20. And if you start cutting blocks of length 4 centimeter, how many blocks you can cut from here, from this side? Just look at it. So what you will do, 20 divided by 4. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. So it means lengthwise you can cut 5 blocks. Agreed? Now see widthwise. The width is 8. So if you have to cut widthwise, then how many you can cut? Again, 8 divided by 4 is 2. So width-wise you can cut 2 because it is completely dividing. Now see height-wise. Can you divide 13 by 4? You can't completely divide it. You will have a decimal. It means you will have little space left on the top, right? So let's see here. This second part we will handle later. So right now we are finding out how many largest number of bricks we can cut from the block. So exactly what I have told you, that 20 divided by 4 is 5. 13 divided by 4 is 3.25. It means 3 complete block you can cut, but 0.25 is left behind. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. So basically lengthwise you are cutting 5 blocks, widthwise 2 blocks, and height-wise 3 blocks. So if you imagine, you are putting layers here. So all together you have cut how many blocks? 5 into 3 into 2. So 30 blocks. So all together you can cut 30 blocks. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Now why you will get wrong answer if you do it by the way most of the time students think, that find out the volume of this and divide by the volume of this. Let's see in part 2. Question is saying find the volume of the wood that is left, right? Now we have just seen that when we are cutting height wise, little portion will left overall on the top because blocks will come till here when 3 blocks will be cut, right? So let's see how much volume will be left behind. Okay, so if you see the volume of the block is 20 by 13 by 8 is 2080. And the volume of one brick is 64, 4 by 4 by 4. So if you have cut 30 bricks, according to part 1, if you have cut 30 bricks, then 64 multiplied by 30. is 1920 because the volume of one brick is 64. So 1920 volume will be used out of 2080, which was the volume of the block. So now if I subtract, I get 160 cubic centimeter. So this much volume will be left behind. Okay, the next question is 5 power minus 2 into 5 power k equals to 1. Find out the value of k. So mostly students do one part of this question correct, and that is they apply law of indices. And what is law of indices? When your base is same and there is multiplication in between, you add the powers. So everybody does the first part correct, which I am just showing you here. They do 5 power minus 2 plus k is equals to 1. And after that they just stop. They don't know what to do. I'm talking about mostly. Now we know that any number to the power 0 is 1. So in place of 1 you can write 5 power 0. And why did you write 5 power 0? So that you can have same base on each side. And this is the rule of indices. If you have same base and there is equals to sign, then powers can be equated. So this implies, that's why I have written here, this implies that minus 2 plus k equals to 0. Because when the bases are same, I can equate the power. So this will help me to know the value of k, that it is minus 2. Okay, same type of question. Now see, find the value of m if 10 power m equals to this. Now if you remember in my previous video, I told you it's very convenient at times to change decimal into fraction. So if I see here, after decimal I have 3 digits. So if I change this decimal number into fraction, I can write 1 upon 1000 because after decimal there are 3 digits. So 10 power m equals to 1 divided by 1000, and 1000 simply means 10 power 3, right? So now I can take it in the numerator applying the law of indices. So when this will go in the numerator, it will become 10 power minus 3. So now bases are same, one term on each side, equals to sign in between. So this implies that powers are equal to each other. So m equals to minus 3. So this is how you will find the value of m. Now let's see the next question. Question is saying factorize x square minus 9. Now most of the students find this part okay. And after that, question is saying using your answer of this part, find out the factors of 9991 other than 1 and 9991. Because we know for any number the factor is always 1 time that number. So he's saying other than that, find out the factors using this result. So let's see how we will find out the factors of 9991 with the help of this factorization. Okay, so x square minus 9 is basically x square minus 3 square. And this reminds us basic algebra, right? So it will become x plus 3 and x minus 3. Now how will I use this result to answer this question, right? Can you think of something? No? Let's see, I'll help you. Okay, so x square minus 9. I have to use this result. So which number minus 9 will give me this result? 10,000. I think everybody can understand this very easily. It's only that you have to think on these lines. Okay, so the meaning of the question is, which number minus 9 will give you this? So it's 10,000. Now 10,000 when you write in the square form will be equals to 100 square. Agreed? Yes. And 9 can be written as 3 square. So now this question is taking the form of a square minus b square. Yes or no? This algebraic identity which I have just shown you here. So now using this algebraic identity, I am changing this into 100 plus 3, 100 minus 3. So what am I getting now? 103 and 97. So my two factors of 9991 are 103 and 97. So I hope this makes sense to you. Now let's see another simple question, but attempted wrongly at times. It's just because students are out of practice for a certain time period. These are all mostly from book 1, so they forget. Okay, so question is saying factorize this. So 45 is not a perfect square, 5 is not a perfect square, so what do I do? If I take 5 common out, factorize it. So it will become 1 minus 9 t square, because 5 9s are 45, in case if you don't know how. Now 1 can be written as 1 square and 9t square can be written as 3t overall square. Agreed? I'm not showing you the result underneath. So you tell me what it will be. Correct. If this is your a square and this is your b square, so it will be 5, 1 plus 3t, 1 minus 3t. In my experience, mostly students stop here. They just cannot notice that 1 can be written as 1 square basically, right? So let's go to the next question. Now this question is a very important question which has a concept of quadratic curve and parabola, which is called parabola. So now let's see, because most of the time students do sketch it, student do get the root, but actually they don't have a concept. So let's see, maybe you already know it, but in my experience the student find this little difficult to handle at times. Okay, so question is saying the graph is given to you and it is said x square minus yx is the equation of this curve. You have to find out few things about this curve. O mean origin, so this point is 0, 0. You have to find this point. Before I show you the question, let me ask one thing. How many of you know that parabola, this graph is called parabola. Parabola is a symmetrical graph, right? So the value which will be exactly in the center, if you draw a vertical line from here, will be a line of symmetry, and this graph, if you fold on that line, will match both sides, right? So keep this in your mind. Okay, so let's start and find out what are the questions. So question is saying that this graph has this equation and it is passing through the origin and passing through point A. First part is saying find the value of A, find the coordinates of A. So before I show you second question, let's see the answer of this. Now you tell me, how will you do it? Point A is on the x-axis. What do you know? What are the points on the x-axis? If you remember coordinate geometry, any point on the x-axis is x, 0. So basically y coordinate on the x-axis is always 0. So if I put y 0, it will help me to get this point. So let's see. Okay, so I have this equation given. I'm factorizing it and I'm putting y 0. The reason I have already told you, on the x-axis y coordinate is 0 and point A is on the x-axis, right? So now when the product of two numbers is 0, it means either one of them is 0. So that's why I'm putting x equals to 0 or x minus 4 equals to 0. Now this was the point of origin, so this is a point of A. So I can say the coordinates of A are 4, 0. Now let's see what was question number B. Okay, so question B was saying write down the equation of the line of symmetry of the graph, right? And do you remember what I just told you, that parabola is a symmetrical graph, right? So let's see here. I have drawn the graph here again for you. So this was the graph given to you. So line of symmetry is basically this straight line which is passing exactly through the center. So how will you find out the central value? The technique is you add up the 2 points and you divide it by 2. It means this point, x coordinate here is 2. And question is saying find the line of symmetry. So do you remember coordinate geometry? So what is the equation of this line? Yes, you are right. It is x equals to 2. Sorry, this solution was of next part. I'll show you in a while. So the line of symmetry is, question is saying write down the equation of the line of symmetry. So you can say it is x equals to 2, right? Now the next part of the question is find out the coordinates of the lowest point on the graph. Okay, so now if you see here the graph, the lowest point is basically this. Now this x equals to 2 is basically a point on the lowest, but it is a x coordinate. When question says find out the lowest value, it means y coordinate you have to answer. So how will you find out this y value? Basically, this y value is the corresponding value of x. Yes or no? Because at this lowest point, the x value is 2. So to find out the y value, you just need to plug in x equals to 2 in the equation of the curve, because y is the corresponding value. So you got -4. So lowest point is 0, -4. I hope it makes sense to you. Okay, so the next question is, this sketch is given to you and question is saying the diagram shows the line y equals to mx. Now if you see, it is not mx plus c. Why c is missing here? Any idea? Yes, c is the y-intercept. And what is my y-intercept right now? Origin, 0. So that's why there is nothing mentioned here, right? So question is saying the diagram shows the line y equals to mx. On the same sketch, label y is equals to mx plus 2. So if you see this equation and this equation, what is common between them? Yes, gradient is same, m. Here it is plus 0, which is not mentioned. Here it is plus 2. So when gradient is same, lines are parallel. So you will draw a parallel line, but it will pass through 2. So it means line will pass like this, right? So you will just use ruler, draw the line here, which will be parallel to this, but will pass through 2. Okay? I will just show you in a while. I'm just discussing right now. Okay, so the next part of the question is saying, find out y equals to minus mx. If you see, it is y is equals to mx minus mx. So can you relate? It means negative gradient, but the same slope. So it means it will be on the opposite side. So if this is positive gradient, negative gradient will be like this. If you remember the coordinate geometry, whenever the flow is in this direction, it is positive gradient. When it is in this direction, it is negative gradient. So in other words, I can say for y equals to minus mx, I will just do the reflection of this line in the y-axis. Make sense? So let's see the sketch. So this was the line given to in the question, y is equals to mx. This is the line y is equals to mx plus 2. So I am drawing a parallel line but passing through 2. And y is equals to minus mx is the reflection of this line in y-axis. So with this, I will finish this video number 3. And in my video 4, I will start from question 22, which I will upload in 2 days, most probably on Thursday. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have learned something, even a single point, then I would like you to please press like, bell and subscribe. So because even if we learn something from anybody, we should be thankful. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.